Hello guys, and welcome to another indie manga review. We are reviewing another manga from Black Swan Story, who you may remember also made the manga Mr. Sasaki's Soul that we reviewed last time here on the channel. And now Black Swan Story is starting their own YouTube channel. Give them a follow and give them some support, especially if you enjoy what you see here on the review today. But let's get into the manga, shall we? Employee Deathmatch. Now that is a title that strikes a picture in your mind right away. That's right guys, we got employees going at it in the ring. Look, they're doing flips and they're breaking arms, trying to strangle each other with cords and shit. Just open palm, slap that man in the face. He's dead now. But oh no, that guy has a katana and he slices his face up and he's fired. That's how you fire people in the workplace. Oh, but it was just a dream. It was all just a dream. Okay, so we open up the manga with a dream sequence of our main character fighting all of his fellow employees in the workplace. But if that's just a dream sequence, what is the manga actually about? Well, it's about a life insurance company that very often will screw their customers out of getting the money that they're owed after a loved one dies. And our main character is someone who will refuse to lie about what their insurance actually covers and will actually try to fight against his own company in order to get people what they're owed. And because of that, not a lot of employees at the workplace actually like this guy. And you kind of gotta wonder if the company itself is actually trying to screw over their customers, if this is just genuinely a big giant scam. Why not just fire the guy if he's not scamming people properly? I don't know. You would imagine that a company like this would be getting sued very often. But regardless, because this company is super corrupt, employee morale is also extremely low because, you know, you're not actually helping people like you want to do. I can't help but be reminded of that scene from The Incredibles, right, where Bob is working for an insurance company, but he realizes that the company does not actually want to help people. They want to find any loophole that they can so that they don't have to cover anyone for what they're owed. He's not really helping the customer, he's helping the company.
We're discussing your attitude. He is getting mugged. Well, let's hope we don't cover it.
This actually leads to a spike in suicides with their employees, including our main character, who decides that he himself is going to commit suicide after his daughter's 18th birthday, and after he beats his wife with a bottle? What? And I can imagine that, like, it's very difficult to get new people to work there when all your employees keep dropping like flies. So how does the company respond to this? How are they going to save their reputation so that people will still want to work for the company, and so that the government doesn't like crack down on them for being essentially a scam company that treats their employees badly? How does the company respond to all these suicides? The only possible conclusion is that you must have your employees fight to the death. Yes, employee death matches are the solution to employee suicides, because it looks bad when employees are committing suicide, but it looks better when employees are killing each other, I guess. Okay, I'm not saying that this is 100% bulletproof logic. Once you put a weapon in their hands, what's actually stopping them from just committing suicide in the ring? I mean, if people go to the employee death matches and the employees are still committing suicide rather than fighting the other guy, that'll look even worse. But there are prizes. There are prizes. If you win the employee death match, you get 1 month paid vacation for fighting for your life. You get 1 month and 2 million yen. It's not nothing. I wouldn't kill someone for $13,000. So our main character and one of his friends at work both get invited to the employee deathmatch. And that's when the main character decides, well, I'll take out a life insurance policy, so that way I'll be covered if I actually do die, and I'll join, and we'll see if we can win that 1 month vacation and $13,000. Who wants to be a millionaire? You just have to sit and answer questions, but killing multiple people, you get $13,000. I think the company is still kinda scamming them. even by the end. And that's kind of where we leave off on the manga Employee Deathmatch. It's kind of open-ended from there. You get the impression of, okay, this is the main character who we would follow during these employee deathmatches, and we would root for him winning, or possibly just taking over and destroying this corrupt company. Now, this was actually written before Mr. Sasaki's Soul, and I do think that Mr. Sasaki's Soul does have an upgrade in terms of both writing and art, which is good, because it means that, you know, Black Swan's story is heading in the right direction. Looking back at this one, though, I am sensing a recurring theme of suicide being this main topic that he wants to discuss. A very important topic, you know, it's very relevant. A tricky one to really tackle, and this one is definitely more of kind of dark humor, whereas Sasaki's Soul is more so leaning towards the wholesome, life isn't so bad, please don't commit suicide. Now, maybe that's the right direction to be heading in overall. I think people could use a lot more hopeful stories in their life, especially when you're constantly surrounded by pessimism. But I don't exactly hate the idea of this manga, the idea of employee death matches in general. I would just, if it were me, I would just tweak some things about the story to make it make a little bit more sense. The idea of the government having much more of a problem with a company that has a high suicide rate, but no problem with a company that forces their employees to kill each other, is a little bit strange. It's a little bit odd. But there could be a scenario that I could see in a manga series where there are employee death matches. Maybe if this was a criminal organization, I could certainly see employee death matches. Like if they actually are underground criminal, nobody knows, or even if you want to go like a more zany route, if this was an actual supervillain organization and the only way to move up as top goon is if you participate in these employee death matches. You know, there are different types of themes that you could paint over this idea to give it a different spin. We know that in this story, the government seems to be completely okay with employee death matches, but we don't really understand completely why. Is this a dystopian future where we just don't care about people killing each other just for $13,000 and a month vacation? You know, we're not really given much context behind, well, why is that okay, but suicidal employees is a no-no. Maybe I can understand it through the lens of the employees, where at least they have something to look forward to, at least they have some sort of hope, even if it's a very dark hope coming from the company, of this idea that, well, if I fight really hard in the employee deathmatch, I can finally get a vacation, and maybe that'll make me feel better, so therefore I won't commit suicide yet. Although you do have to wonder, once the employee deathmatches are over, wouldn't that just raise the suicide rate? Because now you have all these people who are living with guilt and trauma from participating in employee death matches. There's a couple holes that you can poke in the story for sure, but I don't think the concept itself is bad. I think that you could figure out a way to make it work. The art is obviously very good. It's the same artist, I believe, as Mr. Sasaki's Soul, but I do think that there was an improvement when it comes to Sasaki's Soul. Maybe it's just that, you know, you're polishing up the skill and you're getting better as you're going along. I did encounter an occasional typo and just kind of a odd phrasing of certain things, I guess. You've soaked customer papers in your mouth sweat. I've never in my life heard the term mouth sweat before. Is that slang? Does anyone say mouth sweat? Because normally, you know, the term for this would be like saliva Most likely you would say drool in this case. Spit, you know, these are all English words for the same thing. Mouth sweat, I've not heard. But you know, these are all things that you kind of learn as you go. You learn more natural dialogue along the way and kind of adjust accordingly. It's an idea. It comes off as like more of a pilot, like a test to see if they could drum up interest for it going any further. But not much significant actually happens in the first story here. It's basically just what I've showed you. We open up with a big action sequence of all these employees fighting, and then we end on the idea that in real life, the main character is actually going to participate in an employee deathmatch. We get a little bit of his backstory, but he doesn't actually kill any employees. You know, that was just a dream sequence. That was just kind of hyping you up at the beginning. So yeah, I kind of think of this as just selling you on the concept. If you're into that, definitely go check it out. And you can read the full thing yourself. Links are in the description. And of course, if you want to check out what else Black Swan has done, go give them a follow. I'll have their social media links also in the description. Go check out their new YouTube channel and keep an eye on them to see what else they will come out with in the future. Remember guys, gotta support your indies. As usual, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for watching my little review here. Like the video if you did enjoy. Comment down below your own thoughts. If you've read this before, let me know your own thoughts on what your take is on this manga and on the concept itself. I'd love to hear from you. Stay tuned, more videos are on their way. And until then, I'll see you next time, guys. Bye!
Program restart. Shutting down.